Hello, brothers and sisters. The title of the message today is Returning to the Source of Life, Book 3, Abundance of Life, number 13, A Grain of Wheat, number 3. From the life of Jesus, his living came out. People would try to follow Jesus, but without his life, would the living of Jesus come out? Let's imagine a calf tries to mimic a dog barking as it exercises. Would it be possible for a calf to bark like a dog? Even though a thief comes out just blinking its eyes. In Korea, there were so many thieves stealing cows. As cows cannot bark, thieves pull the rein of cows and stole cows. Would thieves pull the rein of dogs? If cows imitate the exercise barking of dog, how funny it would be. With the life of Jesus and try to lead the life of Jesus, they will become strange people. They will lead an unnatural life. That's why non-Christians, people criticize the Christian people a lot. Christian people as hypocrites. We should not try to imitate Jesus with his behavior. We must imitate Jesus with his life, not with his behaviors. As Jesus led his life that way, if I lead my life just like that, it would be enough. We should not say that. We must receive his life first. That's why we need soil. If the soil receives the beans, it will produce beans. There's no such kind of soil that even though they receive beans, but it produces green beans. No. That's why farmers need soil. If the soil has thought, well, this year the green bean price went up so high, much more expensive than beans, let's try to reproduce green beans. But the soil cannot do that. If the farmers sow the beans, it will produce beans. Even the soil loves the green beans, it cannot produce green beans. This is the reason why people would say, why does God allow me to do something that I want? In God's mind, he loves the beans more, but I love green beans more. The God seems to be interrupting his plan, my plan. Why does God interrupt my plan? The will of the master and will of the servant are different. At first, if I want to obey to God's will, God says, my thoughts and your thoughts are so different. One time I said to myself, if I want to go to eastward, the God's will be going to westward. I tried this and tried that, but failed. So I thought like that. But it is the issue of life, not the issue of behavior. Just by trying backwards, would it be that's God's will in a correct way? We should not try to imitate the behavior of Jesus. If something goes wrong, the false one will come out, or pseudo one that will come out. As people receive life, people reproduce life as it is. We cannot change anything according to our will. This is a man. It is true with the soil also. Suppose the soil can do whatever it wants, the soil has no value toward the farmer. A woman has an amazing power, but at the same time she receives the absolute limitation. A woman can receive just one man's seed. Suppose she might have a relationship with 10 men, she can receive just one man's seed. And if that one man is a black man, she will deliver a black man's child. And if that one man is a white man, she will deliver a white man's child. She cannot choose according to her own will. Well, she might thought that man is so stylish, but she cannot have his child. This is the absolute limitation God had given to all men. God needed this from man. If the farmer sows beans, the soil cannot produce any other seed except the beans. God needs that, and that is our true value. If God puts a limitation to me, God needs that from me absolutely because of that. I can be used by God in a valuable way. As I look back my life, God stopped me 2 times in a clear way. I did not know that limitation is absolutely not necessary for God and for me. I felt very sorry because of that, but as I got the enlightenment, they were absolutely a necessary thing. If there is a limitation in my life, that is what God really needs that. The limitation that was given to soil, necessary for the farmer, the limitation that was given to woman is necessary for the man. We are beings who will receive life and reproduce life. Theories or behavior have nothing to do with God. With those things can make Christianity without Christ. We need Christ instead of theories and behaviors. That's why Jesus said, a kernel of wheat falls to the ground and dies, bears many seeds. In 1970s, books of Watchman Nee were well-selling books in Korea. There were books like When Ego Dies, Smashing Ego into Pieces. So many Korean Christians were fascinated by those books, and they first learned that their ego must die. Well, many Christians feel the need, but we read his books, we could learn very clearly. Before I joined Campus Crusade for Christ, I never knew about Watchman Nee. But when I joined in the Campus Crusade, most of the staff members talked about the author, and his influence was so great. His influence is still very great. Holy and dedicated Christians all think about that. I must die, I must treat my ego. Their agonized lifetime. Ego problem always becomes stumbling block. Even they may think, I don't want to lead my life according to my will, but because of ego, we cannot overcome the ego problem, and unconsciously we lead our life according to my will again and again. We know our ego must die, but it's not easy. It sounds so simple, but it's not easy. When there's a problem between husband and wife, we would say, I must die. We think we have the answer, I must die. But it's impossible. But there's an easy method. The reason why Watchman Nee wrote that book was because he had a stumbling block in himself. He had a girlfriend when he was young. He could not discriminate whether it was God's will or his own will. So he postponed his marriage for 10 years. He fought that battle against himself for 10 years. He was agonized. Getting married to her is my own will or not. I don't want to get married according to my own will. While he was agonized, he published that book. Watchman Nee fought against himself lifetime because of the issue of ego problem. On our standing point, he's an excellent person, but he was suffering a lot of pain because of ego problem. To become a person like him is so difficult. He's an outstanding person, but then if he died together with Jesus and lived together with Jesus, it's so easy. If I try to die alone, it's so difficult, but if he died together with Jesus and lived together with Jesus, it's so easy. If you say, all I have to do is just die alone, it's so difficult. In order to treat my ego, it's so difficult to die. We are agonized. For pastors, it's more difficult. Ego issue makes the church so noisy. My ego is a problem, and other people's ego problem is such a difficult problem. Therefore, treating ego problem is so difficult. In Buddhism, people are looking for their true ego. They are looking for their true ego, the peaceful ego that never fights against other people. They try so hard, but it's not an easy matter. If you read a book of Romans, There is an expression, we died together with Christ and lived together with Christ. When did Paul die together with Jesus? Paul had never died together with Jesus. He even have never seen Jesus. He was traveling in order to persecute believers. But he said, I died together with Jesus and I lived together with Jesus. Paul apparently had an experience of dying and living together with Jesus. Can we also say that too? We died together with crucified Jesus. It is difficult. But if we say we died together with Jesus and lived together with Jesus, who could come down from the cross? It is easy. That's why I had chosen that expression. I cannot die alone, so I died together with him. People would say committing suicide together with other people is much easier. When Jesus died, I died together with Jesus, but when I died together with him, it was vague. Even though I confess that I could not feel it clearly. But when people said, if you're a son of God, you save yourself and come down from the cross. You come down from the cross now, and then we'll believe in you. People mocked at him, but he could not come down. When I look at him, it was easy. I'm also like that man. At that position, Jesus was not a great man. He was a man just like ourselves. I died together with him right there. When Jesus went through shame, I also experienced shame. That very man is a truthful man. Jesus didn't mind about the shame. Suppose he died intentionally or he died as he wanted to die. Could the word shame come out? Why did he say, God, God, why have you forsaken me? Why was he ashamed? It was because people said, come down from the cross. Suppose people did not say that. He didn't feel shameful. People said, come down from the cross, but he could not come down. That's why he was shameful. One group of people praised Jesus that he's the Son of God, but another group of people said, come down from the cross. But he couldn't come down, so he felt ashamed. But at that position, Jesus became an easy person. It was difficult for people to approach to him before, but now he became so easy. That's why Paul said, I died together with Jesus. Paul confessed, when Jesus died, I was right there. I'm just one small being compared with Jesus, maybe 1 out of 1,000 folds, but I can be included in him. Is so thankful. What Jesus had done liberated me greatly. All I have to do is just die. My ego must die, but it was not easy. But in my mind, everything became well arranged. Well, die together with Jesus and live together with Jesus, that's enough. We died together. I'm already included in that man. Wherever he may go, I'm going there. It became possible. Why did the curtain of a holy place was torn from the top to bottom? It was torn because God wanted us to come into the Holy of Holies. The curtain of holy place was torn. It means that the flame of fire in the garden was gotten rid of. If the flame of fire is gotten rid of, we can enter into the garden. I can't rush into the garden alone, but I enter into the garden as I'm included in Jesus. As it was open to him, God wanted Jesus come into the garden, and as I am included in Jesus, we can go in together. The distance between Jesus and myself became shortened, and everything became so easy between Jesus and myself. Whether it is suitable to the doctrine or not, it is easy for me anyway. Dying together with Jesus is so easy. Dying alone is impossible. When I read Watchman Nee books, smashing ego into pieces, I thought Watchman Nee is a great man. How could he try so hard in order to treat his ego a lifetime? It is really a great thing, an amazing thing. Well, men like myself, it is so difficult. He wanted to get married with his lover, but he postpones in order to reconfirm about God's will. He prayed for 10 years and postponed and postponed. He got married after 10 years of waiting. Such kind of man is so rare. I have not tried that. Suppose I'm in his situation, it's not easy. I have not loved any lady risking my life. Nobody really loved me either. Suppose I fell in love with somebody, I can be agonizing like him. Enduring for 10 years is not an easy matter. I have no confidence. But when I heard we died together with Christ and lived together with Christ, I was liberated. I was liberated on that position. When we receive Jesus and when we spread it, Jesus is the same. As we receive Jesus as a grain of wheat, and as we die together with him and live together with him, Jesus will be reproduced. If we receive Jesus as our own life, he will be reproduced through our death. Suppose the first century church could do that. Jesus could be reproduced continually. They could not do that because they were cut off from Jesus and they just tried to imitate his behaviors. As Jesus, as they thought, as they study Bible, we can imitate his behaviors. As Jesus carried out so many good behaviors, Jewish people considered the importance of behavior, and Christian people consider the importance of behaviors. The behavior of Jesus was such an excellent behavior. Naturally, they tried to imitate him. As the consequence, there was no life of Jesus, but people just imitate his behaviors, and things will become a complicated one. Dogs barking is so easy, but cows barking is so difficult. In order to imitate the life of Jesus, if we have his life, then it'll be easy. If we have his life, it's easy. But if we don't have his life, it's so difficult. We want to imitate Jesus. We sang that kind of hymn so much in the past. But just singing those kind of hymns, nothing will happen. We have to die together with him and live together with him. Our spiritual ancestors received so much discipline. Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob were all the same. Through the discipline of our ancestors, the path was prepared. Jesus came to us through that path. Jesus came to us through that path, and he will be reproduced through ourselves as we all together walk through that path. Thank you. Hallelujah. May God bless every one of you. Thank you again. Thank you. Thank you.